Welcome back to Crystal Clear. I'm UltraVox, and when it comes to Steven Universe Future, even though we're excited to see Jasper, this mysterious wormy boy, and whatever the heck is going on with White Diamond, one thing that we should also focus on is Era 3 of Homeworld. Now that gems are free to do whatever they want, something that we should keep in mind is the whatever they want part. As far as we've seen, it seems as if Gem kind of just enjoying their freedom, but eventually they'll have a desire to find a new purpose in life. Which leads me to wonder, what exactly could some of these new purposes be? Well, here to help me figure that out, I have special guest Leah from Toon Ruins.
Like Kevin said, we're going to be going over jobs that the gems may or may not have once they have their life on Earth. It'd be interesting to see how the abilities that they were given to perform Homeworld tasks would tie into some Earth jobs that they would be able to choose by themselves. And who knows, they may even find some new passions along the way.
Kicking things off, I want to look at the Quartz soldiers, Jaspers and Amethyst. Even in a world where they're free to do whatever they want, with nothing to fear and no one to fight, I think they would still want to get down and dirty. Fighting is just a part of their instincts. Hell, before Amethyst even encountered another gem from Homeworld, she was already living up the underground wrestling life of Purple Puma. So just because things are peaceful, doesn't mean that they would or even should give up those combative tendencies. I think it'd be more about finding a healthy outlet for them. Something that would also enable themselves to help others. Thus, I believe Jaspers and Amethyst would create their own Homeworld variation of mixed martial arts, essentially transforming Homeworld arenas into the alien equivalent of strip mall dojos. Environments where they're free to fight, but never over negative feelings towards one another. And if Steven Universe Future's selection of villains is anything to go off of, bullying may just be one of those things that will never go away, even in Steven's attempt at a perfect world. As we've seen in the past, even gems are capable of taking out their emotions onto others in very toxic, unhealthy ways. So I don't think it would be too far-fetched for Quartz soldiers to take in other gems, teaching those who are smaller than them, who weren't built for fighting, to stand up and defend themselves. And once Homeworld figures out gems, woo-wee, Homeworld's gonna get swole.
Next up, we have Lapis Lazuli, who I think would be best suited to be a meteorologist. Meteorology is the study of the atmosphere. Meteorologists use science and math to understand and predict the weather and climate. They also study how the atmospheric and weather conditions affect the Earth and its human inhabitants. Because Lapis Lazulis have hydrokinesis, as well as the ability to fly even into space, they would be invaluable for weather prediction. They could fly into space and accurately predict weather based on cloud formations, which they would likely be able to see better than man-made satellites that are currently placed up there for that purpose. They would also be able to fly around on Earth above the clouds, estimating how severe the damage is after natural disasters like hurricanes. Instead of changing their surroundings like their old job involved with terraforming, they'll now be studying the change around them and reacting to it.
Next up, we have Peridots, who, surprise, surprise, I believe would excel in environmental science. Our Peridot was a great insight into the entire cut of Gem. Peridots are technicians and certified kindergartners. So of course they're very hands-on with technology and even excel in engineering. However, experience in the kindergarten has given Peridot a great understanding of not just organic life, but planets as a whole. Peridot's understanding of the conditions and resources in an environment needed to create gems puts the entire cut at an advantage. Our Peridot alone was able to adapt to the planet Earth, becoming instrumental in the development of Little Homeworld, and was even able to use Earth technology to scan and dissect Spinel's Mega Injector in the movie. Not to mention a message received, she seemed to devise a plan to use Earth's resources for Homeworld without harming the planet itself. It's not hard to see that our Peridot is someone who's very pro-green, not just because of her pigmentation, but because she's become someone with a genuine appreciation for the Earth. And if she can do it, I'm sure all Peridots deep down have a natural inclination to care about their environments, about the solar systems as a whole. We have Mr. Beast out here trying to plant 20 million trees. But if we had just a handful of Peridots put their heads together, I think we would have climate change figured out in just 20 days. As Peridots would have the proper analysis and tools to properly assist and save planets. Well, hopefully they don't all get sucked into Camp Pining Hearts. Which could be a plausible risk, I don't know.
Next up, we have Pearls, who I think would be best suited for management positions. Because the Pearls were made to cater to every whim of their owner, they're usually very organized and knowledgeable gems. As we could see with our Pearl, even after she was reset in the movie, she knew the purpose of each gem and was all too eager to explain. She also understood that something was wrong and against the traditional Homeworld standard without being told. Pearls tend to keep everything organized, even if it's in their own unique way. They're quick learning due to their prior Homeworld purpose, so they would likely pick up on every detail of something very quickly. This would mean that they could be adaptable and suited to management positions for just about anything. They're shown to have serious and calm dispositions when they need to, but they're laid back and goofy when they can be. This would make them perfect and easy to work with managers. It would also be a satisfying kick in the face to the prior Homeworld hierarchy if all of a sudden Pearls were in a high-ranking position. Next up is Zircon, which I think would be best suited to be a counselor or a therapist. And you may be thinking that this is a super outlandish one, but hear me out. While they were lawyer gems back on Homeworld, and this is an easily transferable job to life on Earth, they are also great listeners. Blue Zircon was the first gem to actually listen to Steven and realize that the rose quartz shattering pink diamond story just didn't make any sense. Because she was able to listen to him and piece together that something was wrong, even when everyone else was incapable of doing so, I think that this is a perfect fit. The ability to listen closely to someone is one that not a lot of people have, and it's an invaluable skill. You learn a lot when you listen with an open mind, and you sometimes learn things that can help others.
Following that up, we have Sapphires, who, while I also could see being counselors, as their future vision allows them to be very calm, patient, and analytical,
She lied to us!
I think the Sapphires would surprise us and go for something a little bit more, fun. If our Sapphire has learned any lesson, it's that nothing is set in stone. And while Sapphires tend to see one singular path, whereas our lovable Fusion Garnet can see multiple outcomes, let's really play up that anything could happen angle. Let's say a Sapphire was a risk taker and wanted to indulge in more human leisures. Hear me out. What if Sapphires introduced casinos and gambling to Homeworld? What better aesthetic to a place where you could lose your entire life's earnings than the head of it all knowing which bets are going to result in victory? Or alternatively, in a path that won't create many addictions, Sapphires could also become fortune tellers, utilizing their future vision to bring gems great news about what's to come. It's simple, it's cute, and you need it.
Admittedly, we don't know much about an actual rose quartz gem, but I think they would be best suited for caring for the elderly. If rose quartz gems were crafted in Pink's image, we could infer that they have a love for organic life just like Pink did, or at the very least, have a means for taking care of it. And there is a popular theory that's been around for a while that the rose quartz gems were originally the caretakers at the human zoo. So if that theory is correct, they would already be familiar with human needs and behavior. And even if that wasn't their original job, I still think that they would be good companions and caretakers for older people. Just imagine this large quartz gem attending bingo and cooling down soup for elderly people. It's actually a really cute image.
To spice things up, next we're going to focus on the rubies, who I believe will become firefighters and EMTs. Whether if it's on Earth, Homeworld, or a miscellaneous unnamed planet, fires are just an inevitability. Whether it be a wildfire on a jungle moon, or if someone in Little Homeworld left the stove on, you could count the rubies to save the day. With their own natural inclination to fire, they'd be perfect to withstand the heat, to rescue those in danger. And as rubies tend to travel in teams of 3 or more, we can rest easy knowing they wouldn't be short-handed. And with both their speed and strength, I have no doubts they would definitely be able to recover organic life. The only potential problem is that rubies haven't portrayed to be the brightest. And although I'd argue they're more impressionable than dumb, if someone accidentally produces a fireball, it's game over. But you know, let's just hope for the best. The rubies can also be angry little gems, so you probably have to watch out for that. But beyond those paranoid doubts, they would be able to literally fight fire with fire.
Now, Spinel is an interesting one to cover and may not come as a surprise, but they would be best suited as childcare workers. In this position, the Spinels would be in charge of meal planning, supervision, hygiene, playtime, activities, and socialization. So essentially, they would be a companion and caretaker for younger children. Their stretchy and flexible limbs would allow them to move quickly and do multiple things at once, making the multitasking associated with children a breeze. And while this isn't radically different from what a Spinel's purpose already is back on Homeworld, it's one that they would thoroughly enjoy. They wouldn't just have one child that they would be taking care of, but multiple. And there's always new children for them to care for, so they wouldn't be thrown away once their child grew tired of them. The children would also likely benefit from someone who has a very friendly and approachable disposition, as Spinels do. Of course, they would need to be taught when play is too rough and dangerous for a human child, but I think that they would adjust quickly and enjoy their new jobs.
And to close things out, I want to give my own spin on Spinel. Although Leah knocked it out of the park with her Spinel analysis, I want to go with something a little bit more, goofy. Look, Spinel's elastic, she's out here outdoing Mr. Fantastic and Elastigirl. So what better way to put these stretchy arms to the test than with none other than a yoga class? That's right, what if Spinels could also take the route of yoga instructors, enabling others to really get a good stretch, strike poses they didn't have the motivation or proper instructor to otherwise, and allowing people to really break a good sweat. Gems would be able to stay in shape, get a good workout, and have a blast doing it. As for organic beings, well, humans would definitely come to some realizations of, wow, I did not know my body could go this far. But they'd be better off for it in the end, or, dead. But as always, while these are just our thoughts, we want to hear yours.
So feel free to drop your comments down below so that way we can see what you guys think, because I think it's super interesting to speculate what they would do with the abilities that they've already been given back from their Homeworld jobs.
You can tweet your thoughts at Roundtable Vids, or for more of my own thoughts, you can find me at ARTWITHKODA.
And you can find me on Twitter at LeahC_official.
Special thanks to ARTWITHKODA for creating an awesome thumbnail. For more of his wonderful art, you can find him on Tumblr and Instagram at ARTWITHKODA, and subscribe to his YouTube channel. Link down below in the description. Help Roundtable grow by either becoming a member of this channel or supporting us over at Patreon. Link in the description. If you enjoyed this video, please throw it a like and subscribe to the Roundtable for more great cartoon content. Thank you for watching, and I hope you have an awesome day. ARTWITHKODA
and Leah signing out.
Bye.